Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the XCamp Austin Campus opening ceremony. I'm the moderator, Shan. Thanks for joining us on the weekend night. Please allow me to go over our agenda quickly. The first part is the opening remarks by our CEO and co-founder, Charlie. I think some of our friends have met Charlie before. And the second part will be introduced by our co-founder, Yuan. Yuan leads the XCamp teaching team, and he would like to share more about our teaching plan in this coming semester. The third part will be introduced by Janet, our principal of Austin branch. And today we are so happy to have some local friends joining us today. Welcome, Mr. Chen and Angela. The most exciting part, I think, will be our sharing session. We are so happy to invite some XCamp students from different levels and backgrounds. They will share their learning experience and strategies during their daily study and context. And we will have 5 to 10 minutes for the final Q&A session. So if you have any question for our speakers, feel free to leave it on the chat box or to send to our host, Janet. Thanks for your cooperation. Okay, before the first session, let's take a quick video tour about the XCamp story. Please enjoy.
Computer science and artificial intelligence are tools that will change the future. XCamp Academy is a community dedicated to inspiring and cultivating the next generation of computer science and artificial intelligence talent. XCamp Academy was founded in August 2017 in Silicon Valley by 2 Google software engineers. The name XCamp was inspired by the variable X, which represents unlimited opportunities. XCamp's curriculum is developed by Mr. Xian Xu, a Chinese diamond-level international gold medal coach. Our staff here in the US is composed of senior software engineers from major technology companies in Silicon Valley. In addition, we have strong support from international and domestic competition winners. From beginner-level Python to classic C++ courses and competition and honors courses, XCamp's curriculum is designed for students of all different levels. We prioritize personalized education, with problem sets tailored to each student's needs and an enrollment system that encourages grade skipping. By participating in team-based competitions and facilitating frequent group study sessions, XCamp also fosters an environment of collaboration to build each student's confidence in their ability to code. We also provide math and computer science merit scholarships to qualified students. As of now, more than 80 XCamp students have qualified for the USACO Silver Division and above, including 13 who are in the Platinum Division and 33 in Gold. During the Teams Code Summer Virtual Contest, XCamp's teams won second prize in the Intermediate Division and first place in the Advanced Division. At the 2021 Harker Programming Invitational, our students won first and second place in the Advanced Group, and the top 3 teams in the Novice Group were all from XCamp. Here at XCamp, we believe that students have unlimited potential and can change the world through coding.
Thanks for watching. Feel free to follow us on our YouTube channel, today's event, or we will also upload it later. Oh, sorry. So next, please warmly welcome Charlie to give us an opening remarks.
Hi, thank you, Shan. Hi, Austin students, parents, and friends. We are glad to announce the grand opening of XCamp Austin campus. Yuan and I founded XCamp 4 years ago in 2017. Since then, XCamp could grow from a 10-student hobby class to a school with nearly 400 students. We are lucky to know Janet, who helped set up Austin campus. Now we are ready to open. The Austin summer camp classes will start tomorrow. Yuan and I would like to thank Janet, Chuanqi, and the rest of the staff for making this happen. We also want to thank all of the parents for their trust and the support of our program here. We also want to thank Austin local communities for your support. Today, I would like to share our philosophy for teaching. What is the purpose of our coding classes? Some people would argue our goal is to develop student coding skills and knowledge. We agree to some extent, but we have more. Our programming education has 4 purposes. Our first purpose is for the students to learn coding knowledge and skills. We are very serious about coding. After 4 years of classes with XCamp, many of our students could easily enter USA Computing Olympiad Gold Division. Some of them could pass Google's interviews on algorithms and data structures. Our second purpose is to inspire students' interest and help students reach their maximum potential. We know interest is the best motivator. Each student is unique. We are trying our best to provide personalized education to inspire students' interest. Our personalized education includes bonus homework, class skips, and class retakes. Students, please find the best learning opportunities for yourself rather than comparing yourself with others. This is the only way you can reach your maximum potential. Our third purpose is to improve students' real-world critical thinking capabilities. We believe these capabilities are more important than skills and knowledge of coding itself. We would like to help the students on real problem solving to build their grit through practice and contest, and to nurture their leadership through teamwork and other social activities. Our fourth purpose is to build a strong student and parent community. Middle and high school is just the beginning of life. The students will eventually attend college and take internships and look for a job. For those who are aspiring entrepreneurs, they need partners. XCamp buddies and families would be the strong support for your future study, your career, your startup as your lifelong friends. In short, XCamp would like to inspire your interest, improve your capabilities, and try to provide long-term support as a community on top of simple building and coding skills. Thank you all. I look forward to seeing you in class in the summer. Thank you.
Thanks, Charlie. Okay, next, please welcome Yuan to introduce the teaching plan in this summer. Welcome, Yuan.
Hi, yeah. Thanks, Charlie, and thanks, Shanshan, and thanks our principal, Janet. And thanks everyone for attending XCamp's 2021 summer semester opening ceremony in our Austin branch. We are so happy to have you here. And since Charlie and I founded XCamp several years ago, I think XCamp has achieved quite a lot. We've got the first student entering the US camp this year, and we've also got almost the whole class promoted to the USA Computing Olympiad Planetium, and many students got into gold and silver divisions as well. So we've seen our students in top 3 in Teams Code competition, Stanford Proco competitions, and what's the most important thing is that we are so happy to see our Austin branch built with great effort from our Austin principal, Jenna Lee. We hope students in Austin can learn coding, get inspired, and grow in XCamp, just like our students in Silicon Valley. And the whole team are fully committed to a productive and fun summer for our Austin students. So over the summer is actually the most important semester of a year because it provides the longest consecutive learning experience without distraction during a year. And therefore, it could be the most efficient and productive semester. So for students in the beginner level class, meaning like the 100 series classes, we really hope you enjoy the carefully designed class to basically learn coding and also the problem solving skill. And don't be afraid of challenges. And when you finish class, we really hope you love coding and you are confident about implementing your idea with the skill learned in class. And for students in intermediate classes, from 200 series class to 400 series class, this summer is a great time to build up solid data structure and the algorithm foundations, and to deeply understand the relationship between different underlying knowledge and build a muscle memory about coding and problem solving. So it's time also to identify the gap and consolidate the foundations. We really hope you take advantage of the opportunity to be a great problem solver over the summer. And for students in honor classes, we are so happy about your decision and determination to commit to competitive programming. And please note that the next USA computing Olympic season is not too far away. And please note that it's all about the hard work of each problem, each data structure, each algorithm, and whether you have whether you are fully committed to the correction and the summary for each of the hard problem. I think that's all I want to say, and I'm really looking forward to a fun and productive summer for our Austin students. And welcome to the XCamp. Thank you.
Thank you, Yuan. Next, please warmly welcome our dear Austin campus Principal Jenny to share our campus outlook and visions. Welcome, Jenny.
Yeah, thank you, Shan. Good evening. Thank you to each and every one of you for being here with us this evening. We are very pleased to be able to welcome those of you that have been with us as our current XCamp Austin family member, as well as those who are new to XCamp Austin branch. Tonight, it is a big night and it is a milestone for all of us. It is the night for the grand opening for our first Austin summer camp. And it is also the night for the grand opening of our XCamp Austin branch. I am so honored to be the principal of Austin branch. Thank you all for your trust and for your support. We promise we will do our best to grow our Austin branch together with all the students and all the parents. Let's change the world with coding. I would like to express my appreciation to all of you who make our XCamp Austin branch opening a success. Thank you, Charlie and Yuan, who are the co-founders of XCamp, for sharing the vision of XCamp and starting the first branch in Austin. Thank you, Dafu, Shanshan, and Yanan, the marketing team, for all the flyers, posters, and videos to help our local parents and students know more about XCamp. We now even have our Austin branch included in the XCamp website. Thank you, Rong, the accounting team, for helping with students' registration. And thank you, Yaning, the operation team, for students' onboarding process. Last but not least, thank you all the teachers and the TAs who will teach our very first 2 Python Austin classes starting tomorrow. And I would also like to thank you all the parents and the students who are here tonight to celebrate the grand opening together with us. Thank you. And from the day I tried to find a high quality coding program for my own son as a parent, to the day we decided to open XCamp Austin branch, it only takes us less than 3 months. Our first info session was March 13. We have more than 100 Austin parents attended that session. We filled up 2 Austin local Python classes within 2 weeks. We could not have done it without your support. Where are we today? As I shared in this slide, we have enrolled 52 students with XCamp classes this summer. We have 33 students taking Austin classes and 19 students taking the classes from our headquarters, including 100, 200 U-Cycle, and we even have 1 student who is taking the 600 honor class, which is the highest class in XCamp system. What is our next step? We plan to start the beginner level classes in local classroom in the coming fall. The class we might open in a classroom are Python 100, 101, and 102. This is our goal, but it takes time to find the right location and the right teachers and the TAs for us to offer class in person. Shanshan, next slide, please.
Yes.
This slide shows all the teachers and the TAs who are going to teach our 101 classes starting tomorrow. As you can see, our teachers and the TAs are very experienced. When we set up local classroom classes, we need to make sure we have selected and trained the best teachers and the TAs that are fully ready for doing those classes locally. We're not going to rush into it. We're only going to do it when we are 100% confident that we are fully ready to do it without sacrificing the quality of the class. We're not alone for this. We have the full support and the backup from our XCamp team. Everyone on this slide is here to help us. They are going to provide all the necessary trainings and the course content with us. We are part of the XCamp family. We will start the prep work this summer and we'll keep all the parents and the students posted with the progress. Our XCamp Austin branch will focus on local education and bring the best coding experience to our local community. We will stay connected and stay engaged. Together, we can do it. Again, thank you for joining us for the grand opening night for XCamp Austin branch. Thank you. Back to you, Shanshan.
Thanks, Jenny. Next, please welcome our local guest speaker. The first one is the Chuanqi Chen, the principal of the Great Wall Chinese School in Austin. Welcome, Mr. Chen.
All right, thank you, everybody. My name is Chuanqi Chen. I'm the principal of Great Wall Chinese School in Austin. I think most parents know me, and I'm very happy to witness the opening of the camp in Austin. And I really wish that we can continue doing well, serve the Chinese community here, to grow the improve the computer science education here. So we Austin Great Wall Chinese School, we offer computer science class 2, and actually my son is in the Austin Great Wall Chinese School too. What impressed me is the camp bring the education into way different level. So you have the teacher from the industry, from expert, who had been work on the AI on the program every single day. So what is the best to learn from the best who is in the Facebook, in Google? You learn more from them, right? So that's why we are so interested in bringing them to Austin, that can serve our community. I think a lot of students here today is from Austin Great Wall Chinese School. So I'm very happy to you have this opportunity to learn from the best. That's one thing I want to highlight. Another thing I want to highlight is why it's so important to learn from the best, because every kid, you have your own road, your own path. You will find out what's your interest, what motivates you. There's so many different diversity of things you like to do. And if you have the expert from the industry, you then probably help you point to some direction and help you build your interest. Like my son, Aiden, he's very interested into programming, and he and I talk about the AI, machine learning every single day, but not every single parent has such opportunity. You can teach your kids what to go from where. But I think through XCamp, your kids have the same opportunity. Like this morning, my son, he won the first place for the Stanford AI program. He used AI to detect skin cancer. I mean, that's something that he can do. And because he had background, I can help him. And also, I think 2 or 3 months ago, he won the hackathon in the East Coast high school. Out of the 400 people, he won the first place. So I like everybody from Austin. You guys have the same opportunity. Every single kid, you will have the same opportunity as my son, and you can learn the different, exposed to different type of computer science program. Not only just for learn the program, not only just learn the competition you cycle, but also to learn things about your AI, about gaming development, about robotics. There are way much more we can continue to build based on the XCamp program. So that's what I'm looking for. That's Charlie, Yuan, and I have very strong shared vision on this. We can work together to bring the best computer science education opportunity to the Chinese community here. Right, thanks, that's it.
Thanks, Principal Chen. Next, please welcome Angela Chen, the Director of Austin Chinese American Network. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for inviting me here. I'm going to talk in Chinese as I hope our next generation can understand the basic Chinese. 所以我是 Angela Qian，刚才已经介绍了，我是Austin Chinese American Network，Austin 华语联盟也简称华盟的理事及其教育委员会的主席。那华盟是一个100%的义工组织，其宗旨呢就是提供所有 Austin 华语一个平台，来服务我们生活的社区，传承我们中华的文化。我们有很多青少年的项目，吸引了众多青少年们参加。在此，我要特别感谢陈传喜校长对长城中文学校的付出，为提升华语的竞争力以及推广中华文化所做的各种努力。今天非常高兴看到 X Camp 能落地 Austin， 也谢谢他们能够促成这件事情，让我们得以向硅谷学习，促进计算机教育发展，将给咱们华裔子弟提升竞争力提供一个很好的训练。在此预祝 X Camp 的成功，也祝咱们年轻的一代能遍地开花，在各个领域崭露头角。这也是我们华盟努力的方向。所以让咱们一起努力，为咱们的下一代创造各种机会，并提供支持及帮助。谢谢大家 ，Thank you。
谢谢 Angela. Thank you. So next session, I think will be very useful and interesting for all of our new students. We invite 4 students from different coding backgrounds. They would like to share their learning strategies and between their coding context and daily studies. Let's welcome Zooey, Aiden, Kevin, and Alex. First, please let them give us a brief introduction. Kevin first, please.
So my name is Kevin Liu. I joined XCamp in early 2020 and I am an 8th grader at Miller Middle School. I'm currently in the 300 honors class. I enjoy building projects using code and coding in general, and I also like cooking. I won 3rd place with my team in the novice group in the Stanford Proco competition and 2nd place in the Harker Invitational.
Hello everybody, my name is Aiden Yi and I'm a 9th grader at Saratoga High. So I'm currently also in the 300 honors class, and for the Proco and Harker Invitational contests, I was in the same team as Kevin. So together we got 3rd place in the Proco and 2nd place in Harker Invitational. And in my free time, I enjoy sort of doing speech and debate as a hobby, as a side hobby. And I like coding my own little projects that are very interesting to me.
My name is Alex Du. I'm a 9th grader at Cupertino High School. Some things I enjoy doing outside of coding are volleyball, piano, and math, and also speech and debate. I'm currently in the 600 honors class. Some coding achievements I've gotten since joining XCamp was making USCO Platinum in February of 2020. I also won the 2020 Intermediate Division and 2021, I got 2nd in 2021 Advanced Division at the Harker Invitational.
Okay, thanks everyone. Seems Zooey has some last minute thing, but she pre-recording a video for celebrating our Austin campus and her experience. So please enjoy.
Hello everyone. Congratulations to your Austin campus opening. Today I'd like to introduce myself, then tell you about my logo course feeling. Then I'd also like to tell you some suggestions about how for like entry levels to the next intermediate level. And I will also show you a demo of my final project, which was actually inside this fun little competition. So without further ado, let's get started. My name is Zooey, and right now I am 10 years old in 4th grade at Harvard. And some of my hobbies are dancing, baking, singing, writing, coding, and gymnastics. I joined XCamp in spring 2020, starting from class 100C logo. Now I am learning 200C, learning the C++ language. And now I'm going to tell you like what I felt for the visualization course. So I thought the local class was very fun because we got to draw different pictures and animation using one simple coding language. I also thought it was, I guess, easy kind of to understand the programming concept, but you cannot like say, oh, right now I'm just going to listen to the class without like writing notes or stuff like that, and expect to understand the whole algorithms and what we could in function and stuff like that. So I suggest you pay really close attention into the class so you can understand the concept. So after class, you'll need a review for another like double the class time. And for my final project, I guess I had a lot of trouble. I had a lot of trouble like making the code because at first I was trying to get the cat to catch the ball, but I realized I can't move all the things like all the eyes and nose and everything on the cat to move around at the same time. So I found that very challenging. So then I figured that I went to a lot of office hours and I still couldn't figure it out. So I tried to let the ball catch the cat instead. And yeah. And for my suggestions, I would say we should always tell ourselves we could do it so we could change our positive mindsets for negative mindsets to positive mindsets. And we could also try to use our pen and paper to write down the algorithm and draw out the diagram. So that way we could it would be easier to finish the problem, and it would also make us very clear on what we are trying to do. And finally, if all the steps don't work, we could try to go to a different problem first and come back to the challenging one later. So I hope that helped. And if you have any other questions, you could tell Shan or Charlie and they will email me and I will be sure to reply to you for your other questions. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, thanks, the student and Zoe. So let's move to the next question about the daily study in XCamp. Because we usually got some consulting question from parents and students. So please next welcome our students to sharing the experience. Who would like to answer the question first?
All right. So the first question is, how does the daily learning at XCamp help you in the contest? So the daily learning at XCamp has helped me understand the algorithms more thoroughly. For example, before XCamp, I understood what binary search was, but after XCamp, I understood it more thoroughly since the class gave many examples and problems. And given my increased knowledge in algorithms due to XCamp, I was able to solve a problem in the US Open contest of this year.
Okay, as for how the homework workload is, I think that XCamp is a very intensive program and they'll try to put on a lot of homework to make sure that you truly understand the homework and you really understand what you're doing. So I think a realistic number would maybe be 4 to 5 hours for the homework every single week. Although I would recommend that you try to think about the question after the class ends. So you have a very long time to think about the question, because if you divide the homework, you can divide it into thinking about how to solving the question and then actually solving the question. So if you give yourself the period of an entire week, so if you're doing something boring and you just think about the questions, maybe you can think of a proper solution, and then that will definitely speed up your homework process a lot.
My favorite part learning at X Camp is the fact that I get to meet a lot of new friends who are share a similar interest in coding, just as I do. In the 600 honors class, like we've been in the same class for a long time, as we've like just been continuously like improving, and so we've all gotten to know each other a lot, very well, and we all feel comfortable like talking to each other, are pretty good friends. This makes it so that it also helps with like coding as well, because if someone manages to like solve a problem early, then other people can ask that person, and everyone can learn together.
Okay, great, thanks. So student, if you have any following question, feel free to send to our host Janet or leave it to public chat box, okay? The next question will be based on their learning background. So Kevin, please first.
Okay, so in order to help my study buddy when we study together, I think we can discuss over the content of the class and improve our understanding of it. And maybe sometimes we have some confusions that we didn't realize we had. And I think it's also good to explain the content of the class to your study buddy, so like you can understand it more thoroughly. All right, so in summary, to help my study buddy, we will just go over the content of the class and see what confusions we have.
I think in order to balance your coding time and other study, for me as a high schooler, I think it's very, very important to have a calendar and follow it directly. So you should have a calendar that sort of marks out what you're going to be doing at every single bit of your time. So maybe from like 3 to 4, I'm going to be working on XCamp homework. And then from 5 to 6, I'll be doing English homework. And if you can follow it, I think it'll definitely prevent procrastination, which happens a lot to someone like me. And I think it's also important to take breaks. So a lot of parents will look at your calendar and be like, oh, we should try to cram as much homework as possible into as short amount of time as possible. But I think sometimes if a student gets overloaded, they sort of just burn out, and that's definitely not what you want to have. So it's definitely important to take breaks, but also be able to allocate time on your calendar as like a specific time to be doing your XCamp homework.
So from beginning advanced level, how to persevere with the code with coding. Some tips I have for that are basically just find joy in like solving a hard problem. A lot of times you can like sort of think of a coding problem, a hard coding problem. It's like a challenge you want to overcome, and it's like, and if you spend a long time on it and you're finally able to get it like accepted, then it's a great feeling, and it's a big reason why I continue to do coding. Also, along with that, it's a lot of the coding algorithms and problems you learn are also just very interesting. And once you understand them, they like work very well, and it's just feels nice knowing how they work. Along with that, like I said earlier, a big part of why coding is fun is because of the community that it brings together. You get to meet a lot of new friends through coding that share the same interest, and doing problems and discussing together is a great time.
Great, thanks. Yes, all of them are mentioned the study buddy. So Austin students, please remember to discuss more questions and ask for help from your buddy, okay? Next is very interesting part about the contest. In XCamp, we encourage students to join different high-level contests, not only encourage them to exchange, challenge themselves, but also encourage them to cooperating during the context. Okay, so the next question is about the different strategies. Who would like to answer first?
So for a team-based contest like Harvard Programming Invitational and the Stanford Proco, you can work together as a team and be able to like solve any difficulties you encounter together. So if you have an issue with your code or you're stuck on the problem, you'll be able to like take advantage of having a team and be able to work together. Meanwhile, in personal challenges like Musical, when you get stuck, you're on your own, but you have to use a different strategy. So instead of like giving up when you're stuck, you can either move on to a different problem or like continue doing it so you can take advantage of the time.
For my favorite part during this contest, I think in general, I just like the contest atmosphere. I think it generates a certain kind of tension that sort of makes it so that you have to do well, or you should try to think of it as you have to give it your all. And then afterwards, it's very rewarding to see that, oh, after I've put in all of my effort, I've yielded some results that I'm happy with. But also for team competitions like Proco, I think working with your teammate is just really, really fun. So XCamp teachers are pretty good at putting you with people that are approximately your skill level. So talking to someone who's like way better than you or talking to someone who's way worse than you doesn't sort of give the feeling as collaborating with like your peers. And this way you'll be able to get more work done. And I think it's just a very nice feeling.
Like through my contest experience, I've like picked up some tips for some people who are taking contests for the first time. My first tip for coding contests is just focus on paperwork. A lot of times you need to basically just first fully understand the problem and write out your solution on paper before actually starting to code. Like even though coding is like done on the computer, it's not good to actually start like touching the computer until you've fully understood how to solve the problem on paper. Another tip is to not get stuck for a long time on one singular problem. Most problems have like most contests have a lot of problems in them. Like for example, like Yusuko has like 3 problems to solve in like 4 hours. And if you spend all your time on the first problem, then you'll get a way worse score than if you just like spent like 1 hour on the first problem and then went to like second and third ones.
Okay, great. Thanks, everyone. The next part will be combined with your different background. Okay, Kevin first.
So in order to cooperate with your teammates, I think it's important to divide the problems up. And you can have a spreadsheet to do that so you can keep track of what problem everyone is doing and the status. I think in the team environment, like it's important to, I guess, take advantage of everyone's strengths and weaknesses. So maybe first you can read a problem and maybe kind of determine the type of the problem and maybe assign it to the teammate that is more strong in that subject. I think like in my teams, I should try to apply that technique and maybe we can be more efficient in dividing the work. Also, to cooperate with your teammates, if you have any issue or get stuck in the coding process, you should ask your team for help because maybe another member has knowledge that can help you. And lastly, to practice the leadership skills in like daily study groups, I think it's important to first discuss like what topic you're going to talk about during the study session, and also make sure you're staying on topic and like make sure to let your study buddy also be able to speak as much as you do so you can hear their ideas.
Yeah, as for things that I could have done better in the contest and what I could improve on, I think that for the contest, for one of the contests with me and Kevin, I was able to reach out to Kevin when Kevin had a mistake. And then together we went over his code and then we were able to figure out what the bug on his code was. And then after fixing it, when we ran it, it worked. So that was very nice. So I think you should definitely try to reach out to your teammates, especially if you think if they're struggling. And as for anything that I could improve on, I think sometimes I get too stuck onto one question. So Alex says you should definitely try to look at all the questions and then see which ones you can do. But there's just one question that I remember where I was just thinking, oh, just one more bug fix and I'll get it running. But then there was just always one more bug fix and I just couldn't find it. And I think what I should have done then was reach out to Kevin and have him look at it together with me. I'm pretty sure some fresh perspective would have gotten that bug fixed, and then I would have actually solved the question. But unfortunately, I didn't do that during the contest, which I definitely should have. And then later, like after a nap, I got it.
Yeah, okay. So, like I've said before, well, I'm in like the platinum class, basically like the 600 honors class, and we have like a lot of pure cooperation and competition in that class. We all like know each other pretty well. We know each other for a long time, and we've developed a pretty close relationship through that. So, one example of cooperation competition that I'd say is basically every single week when we get assigned homework, the teacher creates a spreadsheet for us displaying which people would mark the problems that week as either not started, work in progress, or accepted. This like basically for what one puts like some pressure on people who just like haven't done much coding. If like everyone else has gotten every problem accepted and someone hasn't even started yet, they'll be like they'll sort of want to like catch up and also start working. Along with this, it makes it so that if one person is able to solve a problem, but like no one else is, no one else can, you can see who's like solved it and ask that person for help until everyone is able to solve it in the class and learn. So I think this is a good example of how like cooperation in a team can just help everyone improve. The second problem is just on the different levels of USICO. From my experience, the passing USICO bronze, the USICO bronze questions are just about basically the basics of the language, just understanding like for loops, if statements, and maybe like some slightly more advanced things like recursion. But other than that, there isn't much else to do. It's just some problem solving skills. In silver and gold, there starts to be some more advanced algorithms that are like specific to coding, like graph algorithms, dynamic programming, and some other ones. Gold is just like has like slightly more advanced ones and also some more problem solving skills. But it's just silver and gold just requires some understanding of algorithms that like you have to like take a class for. Once you get to platinum, it just the problems just get a lot harder. The algorithms remain around the same as in gold. They're like some slightly more advanced algorithms, but in general, it's pretty similar. However, just the problems just become a lot harder to tell which algorithms you need to solve. And also just the actual coding part also gets a lot more complicated. And it just requires a lot more practice of like solving different types of problems and recognizing what problems are what algorithms in order to get this complete.
Great. Thanks, Kevin, Aiden, and Alex. Okay, next part is the project demo. Okay, let's welcome Aiden to show his project first.
All right. So this is my project, and how it works is that, so first there's a menu screen, and then you can select one of the charts. And then a chart, you're gonna have nodes that are falling down from the screen.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, so you'll see that there are like nodes that are falling down from the screen, and then you're gonna try to time your taps to be as accurate to the nodes that are falling down as possible. So the closer you are, the more score you're gonna get. And then at the end, it'll tell you what your final score is, and then it'll give you an option to return to the menu. And then it'll also give you an option to try the song again to get a better score. So as for how long I took to do this, I think it was like about 3 days ago, I decided that I was gonna make this. So I sat down from about 9 a.m. to like midnight, and then I just finished it. So I think it took me about 10 hours. I think that's a pretty accurate rough estimate for how long it took me to make this project.
Great, thanks, Aiden. So let's take about 2 other projects by Zooey and
Zooey, and today I made a game called Trying to Catch the Cat. Yes, usually the cat is trying to catch me, but in this case, me, the ball, is trying to catch the cat, just for fun. I am a pink ball, and in order to move, I need to click to a position with my cursor. For instance, if I want to move here, it clicks here. And if I want to click here, it moves here. On the other hand, the cat is randomly moving, so I don't know where it's headed next. So, in order to win the game, you have to click the cat and go in the same direction as the cat. Yes, as I said, you don't know where to go, but on the same side, you could also guess. Like, I'm trying to aim for the nose because that is the center of the cat, and when I do, it gives me a celebration. Good job! Hope you enjoyed my game. Thank you for watching, and please vote for me. Bye!
Okay, the last project by Zooey. Actually, every student and parents, you could find more project demo on our YouTube channel. Both of these two projects by Zooey after she finished the 1-0 class. So we hope more of Austin campus students could show your project after that. Oh, sorry. Okay, great. Let's go to the Q&A section.
Thank you. I will help to facilitate the Q&A session. We don't have a lot of questions yet. I have a couple. I'll read them out and please continue type or feel free to unmute yourself. If for whatever reason you cannot unmute yourself, just raise your hand. We'll try to unmute you, but you should be able to unmute yourself and ask questions to any presenter here today. So the first question I have here in the chat is, how did Kevin, Aiden, and Alex got to know XCamp and join the class? That is a fun question. So Kevin.
Probably my mom found out through WeChat or something about this program. And I think she wanted me to pass East Coast Silver as a goal. And that's why I registered with XCamp.
Thank you. And Aiden?
As for me, I think I hopped around between a lot of coding programs, and then my mom was like, oh, why don't you try XCamp out? So she also figured out through WeChat, and I haven't left yet, so I think it's pretty good.
Cool. And Alex?
I'm friends with like Alex Guo, which is Teacher Guo's son. And then like when Teacher Guo first had the idea of starting XCamp, I was like one of the first students to join, and I've just been there ever since.
Cool. And Jacob and Grace, did that answer your question? Do you want to talk to any of them by unmute yourself?
Perfect. That's answered our question. Thank you.
Thank you. And the next question I have, actually, it was already, I think, answered by Shan, is Zooey's project, the course project at the end of her Python 100 class. So I don't know if Yuan or Charlie want to add more to it.
Hi, Gina, could you repeat the question?
Is Zooey's project the course project at as Python 100?
At that time, we were having a logo class, which is another programming language. But yes, we will do similar thing in Python 100, and it's called our the art of Python programming competition. And we will teach our students with the basic Python grammar and also the Python visualization library, and equip them with the required skill to create creative projects. And it's all her own idea, and is very well executed.
Thank you. And these are the two questions I have. Any other student have any questions? Feel free to unmute yourself and ask any teachers or students here. because they are all like 101 classes, just trying to learn. They're starting tomorrow. So tomorrow will be a fun day. It's a 2-week summer camp. Very excited to get started. Any other questions? If not, I will hand it back to Shan for a closing remark. Going once, going twice. Back to you, Shan.
Maybe I have a question for all the student guests. Because currently you are in the intermediate level, right? And the advanced level, when you meet some challenges between the beginner level and the next level, how do you deal with it? Because some entry-level student may say, oh, I feel some pressure, right? I meet some tough question, how to deal with it and yeah, do better in the next level. Kevin, could you answer first?
So I think originally when I started in like the 400 class, but then I moved down to I think 200 or something, because I think the 400 one was just too hard and I didn't have the foundations to take the class. So I moved on to an easier level, like 200, and then I had to move to 300, which is where I currently am. I don't think I faced like too many difficulties transitioning from 200 to 300, but I think like some of the concepts covered were definitely more challenging. So I think if you face difficulties, you can have like a study buddy to discuss over the material, so maybe you can understand it more. And also there's office hours available. So if you want to discuss the material with a teacher, and like if you don't feel comfortable asking a question from the class, you can take advantage of that as well.
Thanks, Kevin. Aiden, would you like to share more?
Yeah, as for me, I think I actually completely agree with what Kevin said. So similar to him, at first I tried out the 400 class, but I think it was too hard, and I think it was the right decision for me to move down to 200. And then similar to him as well, I moved up to 300 class soon after. So I think that for me, the transition from 200 to 300 was not as smooth. So actually I've learned coding, at least like the basics of coding before I came to XCamp. So actually 200 class was more like a review to me. However, 300 class was more like learning new topics that I've never touched before. So I think going to 300, I definitely had to spend a lot more time in order to fully digest all the information.
Thanks, Aiden. Alex, actually you joined XCamp through the entry level, right?
Right.
Yes, please share more about your experience to our Austin campus students.
Well, I joined just from at the entry level, and our classes like we just like started with the class, and we just like continued learning more and more, and just like moving up to more advanced content. Like we started off with like logo, and then we moved up to C++, and then we started learning like the basic C++, and then like more advanced algorithms, and then started going to more competitive programming. Like whenever I face difficulties in this time, like there are a lot of times algorithms I don't get very quickly. I can just like some things I do is just either ask my classmates, like I said before, we all feel comfortable to ask each other, and just because someone usually gets it, and we just try to see to learn from them. Along with that, I feel like the teachers in XCamp are really good, as in like and they would like be find like helping you one-on-one, like you can just like ask them for help personally, and if you don't want to like ask in front of the class or something, and most times they'll be fine to just help you understand something, and like as Kevin and I said, just like office hours as well for that.
Great, thank you for your sharing. This is my question. Does anybody have another question? Janet, did you see any?
No, it's not in the chat box. I think we're good.
Great. Oh, That's from what they said, we can see XCamp provide a fully learning cycle for all the students. Please enjoy your next coming class. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. Please follow us on any social media platform to get our update info. Thank you.
And good luck tomorrow for your first class.
Great.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.